Welcome to another edition of the Budde Telecom Files. This time I would like to talk to you about the iPhone 4. Interesting developments around this new device. Of course, the antenna gate, we all heard about it. But when I was in London 2 weeks ago, it was very interesting to note that the iPhone 4 actually didn't work in many parts of central London. Also, that didn't only apply to the iPhone, it also applied to other smartphones. And basically what happened was that you got a message that the server was not available. This indicates the enormous amount of traffic that's now taking place in the mobile broadband sort of area with these smartphones, where the smartphones are in continuous contact with the network, for either for emails or for checking, and this M2M sort of traffic is generating an enormous congestions. Several people who had the iPhone 4 were complaining that they actually also need to use another mobile phone in order to make normal calls. So this clearly starts to indicate the enormous problems that we are facing in relation to mobile broadband. There is not enough spectrum at the moment. The technology is not yet fully developed. We do need 4G in order to make it more efficient. And obviously the backbone also requires fiber optic connections in order to get as much as traffic of the actual wireless system itself and putting that onto the backbone network. The same actually applies to base stations, rolling base stations further out into the network. Again, for the same purpose, getting the traffic from the mobile network as soon as possible off that network and onto the fiber network. Of course, this is also very interesting to look at that in relation to the rollout of fiber to the home networks, because it's quite possible that actually on the back of mobile backbone networks, fiber backbone networks, that will also stimulate building a business model for fiber to the home models. And as I've been mentioning before, in some of the emerging markets like Africa, similar sort of situations are happening. Backbone fiber networks are rolled out to connect the mobile stations, and by the way, of course, in a transsector sort of approach, the government could then, for example, also ask the mobile operators to look at linking in hospitals, schools, businesses, etc. So you really start seeing some interesting developments happening here in that area as well. Nevertheless, the iPhone, of course, is another huge success. Smartphones are a huge success. And partly because of the reasons that over the last decade the mobile operators have failed to properly explore and properly look at the business models that were available to them in order to roll out, in order to attract more customers to the mobile broadband network. They, however, limited that very much into their closed portals, their proprietary systems. They priced it very high, made it very difficult and expensive for content providers to provide. And now obviously you've got this enormous pent-up demand that's now bursting into the market, and everybody is scrambling to find ways on how to manage that on the infrastructure. So unfortunately it looks like there will still be a couple of years of pain before we really start seeing the mobile broadband networks delivering the sort of quality that we expect. Some of the investors are looking at this and say, thank God, that allows the mobile operators to up their prices because, you then actually, it's a scarcity in the ether, so therefore you can use that facility. I doubt it very much that is going to be a successful approach. I think that competition in the mobile market will make it very, very difficult to increase prices. We see a decrease in prices everywhere. And even if there is a possibility, companies such as AT&T are trying this, but even if there is a short-term possibility for that, within the next couple of years, obviously there is more spectrum, there is more capacity, and then obviously competition will hit again, and you will see that prices are going down, and at that point in time penetration, of course, is going up. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm looking forward to talk to you next time. At the end of this clip you will find some further information about these developments. Thank you and see you next time.